Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. This morning, we're going to be setting up an electric net chicken fence for my chickens. So we got this chicken pen here and some chickens, about 5 of them. I've had them for about 2.5 weeks. And in that time, they have absolutely destroyed what little bit of grass used to be in here, which I knew they would do. Four eggs this morning. What we're going to do is to give them a little more room to graze and rummage around and stay entertained. Is I picked up this electric mesh chicken wire rope stuff that you can hook a energizer up to and make a little movable electric fence for them. So we'll make them a little spot they can roam around and pick for bugs and scratch and just get out of that coop for a little while. So here's a little close-up of this fence. I've already got it pulled out of the box and played with it just a little bit. But what it is these green ropes, which are running horizontal, have, maybe you can see it, there's tiny little electric wires, metal wires, excuse me, running through these green lines to transmit that electricity. So you can pop whatever gets onto it, most notably probably my little dog, but maybe we'll keep foxes out and anything else. All right, let me get this laid out. So every bit of this came just like you see it here, right out of the box, already all put together. And you've got these fiberglass stakes with double spikes on the end to stick them in the ground. You kind of use your foot to jam them in. I got this off of Amazon. I'll put a link in the description, or I'll attempt to. It's like it was under, I believe it was right around $200 for this. This is 164 feet of this mesh. I also got the energizer off of Amazon to power this thing, solar powered, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. And I'll put links down in the description for both of these items in case you're interested. So first off, before I go to even stretching this net out and putting it up, I'm gonna go ahead and get the lawnmower and mow the grass roughly where I think this fence is gonna go around, because when these green ropes touch grass, it will sit there and arc out and just kind of drain your battery more than's necessary. So I'm gonna get the lawnmower, run around. I know it doesn't look too bad, but just to get it as low as I can, we'll go ahead and mow that down, then we'll stretch it out. as you can tell, it hasn't rained here very much in a while. Whew. Hopefully that was the nastiest part of this job. Let's go ahead and see if we can't get this all stretched out. It would probably be a lot easier, golly, with two people. I'm really gonna try and stretch this thing tight. So doing this by yourself and this ground is so deadgum hard, I think I'm gonna just use a little mini sledge. I think the more we get strung up, the harder it'll pull and want to stand up for us. Might have to put some bracing on this to really tighten her up. Maybe I should have done this one last. We'll put this one right up next, just past our lead post, I guess you'd say. I think I'll pull this one up. Phew, it's a little too much. Right. Try and get this just right. All right. So that worked out pretty well. I guesstimated on my mowing just about right. Covered a fair amount of ground for the chickens to roam. Kind of sagging a little bit over here where our two ends come together. But we have a solution for that, which I'll get to in just a moment. Two people would definitely make the job easier, but it wasn't too bad. just by myself. Stepping on them, shoving them in wasn't working though. This ground is too hard for that. So what we have here is what else came with the netting, the wire netting kit. A couple different kinds of stakes, and I pulled one of these apart. Just a rope with 2 loops and a cinch, so you can tighten these fence posts up a little bit. So I think all we'll need is 2 of these. So I'll go ahead and bring another one with me. This net kit came with a repair kit, so you can you have some conductive wire and some just regular rope in case you get a hole in it or something. Couple extra odd and end pieces. It also came with instructions, but it's pretty self-explanatory. I didn't spend too much time on them. We ain't trying to solve the theory of relativity here. We're just putting up a chicken fence. So here on the ends, I'm sure you'll run into this problem. You don't have anything else pulling on the top of these like you do the rest of the middle sections to get these nice and tight. So that's why you have these little anchors and stakes. So all you'll do, each end has a loop, and what you'll do is put the loop right through the top of that post. And I'll bring you in closer and show you what I'm talking about. So right on the top of these posts is a slit in this little cap where the top wires are also tied into there. So you'll just take the loop from your anchor wire or rope and slide it right down in there. And then you'll run it back with a stake through the loop in the other end. And that's how you can pull it nice and tight. Slip our little tent stake. There we go. Just like so. Now I'm going to hop the fence and we'll put one more on this side. There you have it. So one other accessory that came with the wire net kit is these little tiny stakes. And what these are for is if there's a section in the fence that you just can't seem to get tight, you can, and it's just laying, those bottom electric conductors are just popping off the grass. You can run and you can get up under that fence and grab like probably about 25% up the net and run one of those green conductive wires through here and pick it up like that, and then stab this in the ground to hold those wires up off the grass if for some reason you couldn't use the fence post itself that are made into the net to keep it off of there. I don't need any of these, but we'll hold on to them in case something changes. We'll pack all these extra pieces that we didn't use and stick them in the barn room for in case we ever need them. So, next on the list, the energizer. So I grabbed this off of Amazon as well. This is a Andmon electric fence energizer. Straight from China, I'm sure. As probably almost all of them are. So I took it out and plugged it up to the wall charger in the barn room last night just to make sure it was ready to go. First, what you'll have to do when you get it is this bolt right here, little hex head bolt. Take it out and you can roll this battery compartment up to reveal the little 12 volt small battery that is in here to hook up the spade connector. It's those spade connector style 12-volt battery. Do that first. I charged it up overnight just to make sure it was topped off and ready to go. So this particular charger is the Solar S800 solar maintainer charger, and it is it'll put out 0.96 joules. And I think this was, if I remember correctly, this was rated for like 50 miles of electric fence. So it's quite a bit more than we need for our little net fence here. But I think it's wise to probably get a little bit bigger than what you think you need. Especially with this kind of fence, because I'm sure it's going to be arcing out on the grass. Even though I mowed it, you know, it'll probably try and drain it down. So just a little heftier than what you need. And we could also, I mean, we could end up running 2 of these nets together and make it twice as big, you know, and you never know what you're going to get into. So let's go ahead and get this prepared. On the back here, where your alligator clamps go, we'll have a hot and a ground. So green side is a ground. And these came all put together. You just got to clamp them down to the energizer. And of course, hot will be the red side. Now this particular energizer, I'm going to mount it. It has a slot in the back where you can mount it to a T-post. So next what we'll do is slide over there and pick a spot where we want it with good sun. Tree's not going to cover up the sun from it too quickly. It will eventually later in the afternoon. But we're going to have to drive a T-post to set this on, and then we're going to have to drive a grounding rod to connect the ground to. So let me go grab a T-post, and I saved a grounding rod that I found laying around here, and we'll go ahead and drive that down and get this set up. I've got on the end furthest away from the tree. I need to point this to the south just from where we're located in this, I don't know, hemisphere, I guess. I think I'm gonna drive my grounding rod first because it's probably gonna be the least fun, especially right now with as hard as this ground is. Nothing to it but to do it. Whew. Finally. Whew. All right. Now for more fun, driving the T-post. All right, that's plenty good. Phew. Like I said, the back of this thing slips right on to a T-post, just like that. Nice and facing the sun. So as you see, this thing just slips right down onto a T-post or a Y-post. So all we're going to do now is Let's take our ground clamp, hook it right to our grounding rod. Then we'll take our positive lead, so I'll run it on this side, and hook it right to the green conductive wire, rope, whatever you want to call it. And the way this ends up translating to all these other green wires or ropes is because on the ends they are all twisted up together. So you power one, it ends up going to all of them. And these clips right here are made so that you can hook two sections of fence together. I didn't choose to do that here just because of the way I tightened it up. But if you wanted to run two sections of this 164-foot fence, if you wanted to keep running down, you could hook those two ends together, so it would keep transmitting power between the two sections. So now we're totally ready to go. All we have to do is come to the back of the Energizer to the little flip switch. Flip it on, and you can see it's got a green light flashing. This is like a pulse type Energizer. It's not constant power onto these transmission wires. It just pops every maybe second and a half or so. That's all there is to it. It's ready to go right now. But what I am going to do is turn that back off for right now, and I'm going to hop in here and let the chickens out on the pasture, I suppose. Not much of a pasture, but I guess it's better than being cooped up in here all the time. Let's go, chickens. They don't know what to do. The nice thing about this fence with these fiberglass posts is also you can just grab it and bend it over and step right over the fence, and they pretty well pop back. That's sagging a little bit, but not too bad. So we'll go ahead and fire this thing off, and that'll be a done deal. Alright guys, that's really all I had for today. I know it wasn't nothing super exciting, like tearing something up with an excavator or even working on a piece of equipment, but that's what I had. I wanted to get it done. I kind of hate to see them chickens just in that little old coop. It's a nice coop, but kind of once they turn the whole floor to dust, it's kind of, I don't know, you almost feel bad for them. So figured this would be something easy. We can move it around, we can adjust it, you know, further out into the field or more back here into the shade. There's not a ton of grass right here, but it's kind of a project I let slip by. Maybe next year, springtime rolls around, we'll clean this up, slick it out a little bit better, and plant some nice grass. Of course, we'll have to keep them cooped up for a while to let it get established, because them chickens will tear it up for sure. Maybe now they can run around and catch bugs and scrape around. I'm sure they'll love digging up around that tree. No telling what all's hidden in there. If you would, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps out the channel. As well as drop a comment if you have any questions or something, any suggestions or something that you would like to see me working on or doing next. Guys, I appreciate you stopping by, tuning in, seeing what we're working on this week. Y'all be sure to stop by again sometime. Have a blessed day.